Welcome to Family Intermediary, your mediator and information hub. My name is Cynthia Taurai. I am the principal mediator and accredited family dispute resolution practitioner. And I just wanted to talk through some of the blogs that I have already written and do a vlog for those of you that are visual and that don't like to read. And the first blog that we are going to talk on is the best interests of the child. So what are the best interests of the child? Putting away all gallistic lingo and simplifying it so that you understand what's required of you as a parent. Taking away all emotions. Emotions are important as your antenna through life, but you actually need to be able to take a minute, take a breather, and notice the bigger picture as well. So I guess part and parcel of that is emotion regulation. So what is it that our children need? They need to be loved by as many people as possible. As the old adage says, it takes a village to raise a child. So if mom, dad can be involved as part of that, that's really good. Extended family like grandma, grandpa, aunties, uncles, and all those people, if they can be involved and it's safe to do so, then that would be really encouraged. So children need love. I think that goes without saying that, children yearn for that connection and love from their parents or whoever's taking care of them. Children need to be taught. So this could be informal education or informal. So I guess, in this day and age, going to school, going to uni are some of the things that are important to us as a society, but that doesn't necessarily mean that goes for everyone. For example, in Aboriginal cultures, things like fishing might be important, connection to land, connection to your tribe might be important as well. So some of those things can be taught to a child, and it's beneficial for them to be connected to their roots. Language as well is something that you can teach your children as they grow up. Children need to be nurtured. So I guess nature versus nurture. Us sort of imprinting what we want them to be as responsible adults in the world. Like I say in my blog, children are like blank canvases. So they come blank. They have, I guess they're born with a temperament of their own, because some children just come out screaming and you can tell that they're a bit feisty. But a lot of the things that they do learn is based on what we model for them and what we say to them. But I think the bulk of it is what we model because they're watching us. So what is it that you're actually imprinting on your children based on what they see you do? Really, really key things there. So you can't expect your children to be one thing, but you're doing the exact opposite. You actually need to model it on a day-to-day basis so that they can learn from you. So nurturing is important. The language that you use, the way that you act, and the messages as well, direct and indirect messages that you send out to your children on a day-to-day basis. Children need to be protected. I think that's another one that goes without saying. Safety is a key thing for our children. I think when our children are born, it's one of those things that's innate. You don't need to be taught to protect your child. It just comes naturally for most of us anyway. And so, protection from, danger, including in this day and age, yeah, some nasty things that go on. I'm not going to get into too much detail on that, but there's a lot of nasty things that could happen to children. But things like just feeding them, making sure that they have a roof over their head, that they're developing good friendships where they're not hurt. Things like bullying and that sort of thing. They should be able to come to you and talk about the things that are bothering them, and if further action needs to be taken, for example going to the school and having a conversation with the principal or the teachers, then that is your responsibility as a parent. They need to feel safe with you, and one of the things that I talk about is a lot of the things that happened way back in the past that are starting to come up now, including child sexual abuse and that sort of thing, is because children were not believed at the time, and they knew it was a waste of their time even approaching their parents, and later on in their 60s they're now coming up with some of these allegations, and it's like, oh, why didn't you tell somebody back then? It's because there was no room or opportunity. They didn't feel safe to express some of those things. So what better place than at home to create a safe environment where children can come to you with absolutely anything that they're feeling, and express it to you, and you can walk through whatever issue it is together. Children need to be encouraged. So our children are going to be fearful or worried about certain things, particularly things that they haven't tried before. So as a parent or as a carer, it's important that we encourage them to do some of those things. So sort of walk with them through their fear, coach them through their fears, so that they can conquer their fears essentially. So you encourage your children to go to school because that's the right thing to do, if that's important to you, obviously. Same thing as conquering heights, encouraging them to play a sport that they might not have played before. And so creating all those moments where you can teach them something is really, really key in raising them well, and I guess it's an important aspect of the best interests of the children. So some of these things are often forgotten when parents are separating and they're going through a rough time. Their emotions sort of flood them. They're very angry with a parent, and they end up taking it out on their children or completely forgetting some of these things, and the children end up being neglected. So really, really key things: to be loved, to be taught, to be nurtured, to be protected, and to be encouraged. Very simple things that we can do for our children, and they'll be better off for it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more vlogs. I talk about parenting, separation, and everything else in between. So stay tuned and subscribe for more vlogs. Thank you.